Kid Icarus. I know next to nothing about this game heading into this. Not to beat a dead horse or anything, but I only heard of this title after this character's introduction into... But hey, if Smash can introduce a Western audience to a series of games, it can also introduce some casuals to some of Nintendo's history as well, so let's dive in. The box art has a similar layout and art design to its neighbor here, Metroid, and would you look at that? Passwords! If you've seen my previous episode, then you'll know just how much use I'll be getting out of this feature. Still, seeing it next to such a gem on this list gives me high hopes for what's ahead. Oof, that first melody was a mess and the pitch was a bit grating on the ears. Luckily it settles into a more pleasing theme as the title screen slides into view. Angel Land Story Kid Icarus. Or is it Kid Icarus, Angel Land Story? Who cares? Let's push start button. Here we have Pit, wearing no pants and holding a bow and arrow. I like your style. Seems I can only climb this stage, so let's hop to it. A bunch of flightless winged snakes drop in to catch an arrow to the face and they start dropping hearts. They seem to be a collectible of some kind as it doesn't improve my health like I would have imagined. As I continue jumping, it's a good time to mention that the controls feel a little off, though I can't quite pinpoint why just yet. Now I find myself in an empty room with nowhere to go. Maybe I missed something. Let's explore the area here and see what the deal is. Nope, can't go down. Once you advance the screen, it becomes a pit of doom. How was I supposed to know that? It was solid ground just seconds ago. I'm still trying to get the hang of the rules of this world, and so far I only understand jump and shoot. So let's jump into the review. The jumping. As I mentioned before, the controls aren't great. It somehow manages to feel both sluggish and slippery at the same time. I would forgive it for the time it was released, but Nintendo had already shown an understanding of how platforming should feel before this. There's a slight delay between you press the button and then when you actually jump. In a game designed heavily around vertical platforming, this is an issue. Maybe it's a fault in the emulation, but if that's the case, it's strange I haven't encountered this issue playing any of the other games. Given some time, you learn to anticipate and start your jump a little early, but even still, you can barely nudge Pit once he's left the ground, and he's got wings! Speaking of which, Pit has wings, doesn't fly. These snakes have wings, they don't fly. These jellyfish, no wings, but they motherfucking floating flying all over the damn place. I digress. Now, the shooting. Pit has a similar attack to Samus from Metroid. You can shoot horizontally and vertically for an annoyingly short distance, but can't duck and shoot. So far I haven't encountered any ground enemies that can duck your arrows, so this isn't terrible, but that doesn't mean they still haven't managed terrible placement. Enemies typically come at you in groups, be it by ground or air, and usually spaced too close together for you to be able to shoot them all fast enough. I'm mashing the button as fast as I physically can, and still one or two make it through and deal damage. Some enemies take more than a couple of shots to defeat, and until you know which ones, you'll likely end up taking heavy damage in the process. In the case of this death figure here, he seems to enter some psychotic invincibility mode while he rushes towards you and terrible music plays, which attracts more flying enemies to crowd the screen and slow the frame rate to a crawl, which utterly destroys your fire rate. If you manage to survive one of these episodes, you're still not out of the woods because plenty of the enemy types respawn infinitely as far as I can tell. If you stand in one place too long, you'll soon have to face an army of snakes. I can hardly make a gap during a tense moment without this game squeezing out another slimy turd of an enemy right on top of my head. If I manage to take out a few of these squids, but only one of them makes it to the top of the screen, well, here's a whole fresh crew ready to fuck you up. This wouldn't be so bad if ever I received any kind of health for taking out waves of these bastards, but it's only more hearts for the rare time I encounter a shop and can actually afford what they're selling. Even when I can, it never lasts long. If you make it to the next level, guess what? It's another twisted tower of terror. Jump, shoot, die, repeat, jump, shoot, die, repeat. This game is making me crazy. Let's move on. For all its faults, this game... You know what? I gotta level with you. I wanted this review to be structured like the last, with the whole what I didn't like, what I did, but I just can't do it. I can't think of anything I enjoyed about my time with this game. I'm not saying it's a broken piece of hot garbage, I'm just saying this one wasn't for me. With that said, let's just move on with my... Look, I know, it's my second review into the series, and I was already unable to complete a game. Trust me, I'm very disappointed by this fact, and I'm hoping to make it up to you guys with some bonus content at the end of this video here. I tried. I really did. I even cheesed the save states and created a point anytime I got the screen to move up so I could at least get the game to progress, but if I lost too much health, I had to weigh my options of starting from the save point or way back at the bottom again. The game beat me down relentlessly, to the point that even when I did make it to the next level, I saw I was at the bottom of another pit. I didn't even want to go on. Every design decision in this game just confused me. Hearts for currency, no health drops, random falling hammers after you touch a harp, empty rooms filled with flying comedic disguise masks with no reward. You can't go back down, you die. If you stand still, enemies respawn forever and you die. If you touch these freaky anus plants, you die, but only sometimes. Death is at every turn. He's even right here, laughing in my stupid face, reminding me just how terrible I am at video games. And every time I die, it doesn't say game over. It says I'm finished. The game is just begging you to rage quit. It's like somebody's fever dream was committed to cartridge. The tipping point was when I made it to a level that looked like an actual boss dungeon. Multiple rooms and paths, even a map to pick up. Where was this the whole time? I feel like this should have been the game, but my will to go on was already depleted at this point, so I was hesitant to even explore as they continued dumping a shit ton of snakes on me. And then, it happened. My head was transformed into an eggplant. I couldn't shoot any arrows to defend myself, and waiting to see if this was a temporary condition did nothing for me. You just have to run into the next enemy, praying for the sweet release of death. I'm finished. In my opinion, this feels like a game that had a hard time transitioning from the arcade era of gaming to the newly forged living room console era of gaming. I might be wrong, but I could easily see this as a quarter-eating machine, destroying kids' allowances as they stand around trying to see who got the bragging rights of making it to the top of this death gauntlet. As is, it just didn't give me enough satisfaction to keep grinding away. It seems this franchise lay dormant for many years after this until Smash Bros. Reinvigorated some interest, and it finally got another release in the series on the 3DS. After my experience, I'm not surprised most people chose to forget about it. I can't recommend it, unless you just like to be punished, in which case, knock yourself out, but it's gonna be a no from me, dog. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to help me build this channel and keep new content coming. If you're a fan of Kid Icarus and want to let me know just how wrong I am, I welcome your comments down below. And since I was unable to complete this game and review proper, I'll leave you with some bonus audio of me losing my mind in real time as I played the game. Enjoy. I don't know what I'm doing. God! No! Oh, okay. It starts here, stage 1, 2. I thought this was stage 1, 1. Oh, man. I'm losing it quickly on this game. Oh my god. Oh, you slippery bitch! Just a game of inches. You were just begging that screen to move. Gotta just move up. Ha. No! It's driving me crazy. Just what? What? What was that? What was that? What was that? What is this? What is this? Please be more powerful. 'Cause I can't take it! Try to avoid these things. 'cause they're stupid. Oh. 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 Oh, I want that thing. Yeah. And you die! Try to get the screen to move an inch. Just move it up a little bit. And just... Snakes raining on you. Slippery controls. Can't jump worth a dick! Nintendo is fun! Nintendo is... Go ahead and... It's kind of my fault, really. Setting a restore point right before raining snakes! Oh, they passed. Oh, God! Here, guess what? Squids! Oh, I got one. Oh, he got me. No! It's not worth it! It's not worth it! Just end it. Just take me out of my misery. And with that, I'm finished.